Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Primary Maths Problem Sums video tutorial. In this question, we discuss an excess shortage, also known as double ifs, which can also be taken as a gap and difference type of problem sums. Alright, this is actually a question from Red Swastika School, Primary 6, 2017 SA1 actual exam question. Alright, but before that, I have a quote to share with you. Time is what we want most, but what we use worst. Alright, we value our time, but unfortunately, there are many amongst us who do not use our time wisely. When we have free time, what do we do? Some of us, we will immediately take out our phones and use IG, FB, TikTok. Alright, that is negative usage of time. If you want to value your time, value your activities. Alright, choose activities, choose tasks that are productive. That is how you can make full use of your time. Alright, so this is a very suitable quote for many students these days. Time is what we want most, but what we use worst. Alright, so I hope you can reflect on this and understand that when it comes to test preparation, if we choose to push everything to the last minute, that is when time is very limited, and that is how we can actually have a very quick way to not achieve our goals. Alright, so think about it. How do you use your time? Now let's discuss this question. Anne has a roll of ribbon for decorating some gifts. If she cuts 1.2 meters for each gift, there is 0.4 meters of ribbon left. If she cuts 1.5 meters for each gift instead, she will need another 11 meters of ribbon. How many gifts does she have? Now, how do I know that this is excess, shortage, gap and difference type problem sums? The keyword is the double ifs. Okay, there will be two scenarios. In this case, okay, scenario number 1. Alright, scenario number 1 is if she cuts 1.2 meters for each gift, there is 0.4 meters of ribbon left. So there's an excess, there's extra, right? So it's either an excess or a shortage for each of the scenarios. So excess of 0.4 meters. Scenario 2 is the next if. Let's see what happens then. Alright, scenario 2. If she cuts 1.5 meter for each gift instead, she will need another 11 meters of ribbon. So she will be short, right? Not enough. So that is a shortage of 11 meters of ribbon. Alright, now the next step is to find what is known as the gap. Okay, such questions is very standard. So you need to find the gap, you need to find the difference, and later on we do a division to find the number of gifts. But how do we find the gap? Now the gap can be found by looking at the scenario. If both are different, excess, shortage, different, right? One excess, one shortage. Then we have to add these two values. Okay, we plus them. But if both are shortage, okay, let's say you have scenario 1 to be shortage, scenario 2 also shortage, or in another case, scenario 1 is excess, scenario 2 is excess. Then how do we find the gap? Okay, to find the gap, we have to subtract. Okay, we have to do a minus. Take the big value minus the small value. Alright, so in this case, 1 is excess, 1 is shortage, so I have to add them up. The gap is 11.4 meters. The difference, my friends, is what is happening in both the scenarios, okay? In both the scenarios, the difference is, one of it, you are cutting 1.5 meters, another one is 1.2. So difference is very simple. You always subtract these two values. Alright, so it's going to be 1.5, take away 1.2, and you'll get 0.3 meters. And the last step is to find the number of gifts. This is a division. Alright, you take the bigger value, which is the gap, divide by the difference. So 11.4 divide by 0.3. 11.4 divided by 0.3. 38 gifts exist. First answer, we have settled it. 38 gifts. Part B. How much ribbon does she have? Give your answer in meters. Now for this, you can make use of either scenario 1 or scenario 2 to find your answer. If you use scenario 1 to find your answer, use scenario 2 to check your answer. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Let's look at scenario 1. Okay, let's use that to find the length of ribbon this person has. Scenario 1, if she cuts 1.2 meter for each gift, there is 0.4 meters of ribbon left. Now, if she cuts 1.2 meters for each gift means for each of the 38 gifts, right? So, for that to happen, 38 times 1.2, for all the gifts, she will be using 38 times 1.2, right? Based on scenario 1. 45.6. But don't forget, for this scenario, she will be left with 0.4 meters of ribbon. So in actual fact, she had 45.6, which was used for the gifts, add to 0.4. Alright? So 46 meters. This is using scenario 1. You can even write this down using scenario 1. Now, how do we check our answer? We can use scenario 2. Okay, so the next one is a check that we're going to do at the side using scenario 2. Okay, now scenario 2 is if she cuts 1.5 meter for each gift, instead she will need another 11 meters, so not enough. So if she used 1.5, right, 38 of the gifts times 1.5, and she will actually need quite a long length of ribbon. Let's see, 38 times 1.5, she will need 57 meters. But in actual fact, she does not have this. She will need another 11 meters to get this top laser part here. She will need another 11. So in actual fact, she has 57, take away 11. She has lesser length of ribbon, which is 46 meters. Same answer, you see? Exactly the same answer. That's how we can use the other scenario to check our work. Alright, so go ahead, try other double if style question. Alright, pretty standard excess shortage question. Just got to know the technique for the gap and difference, and then the last step is a division, and then use the scenarios to help you check your answer. Thank you.